I'm joined by Jody Shelley right now as we wait for John Tortorella. Would you agree with that? I thought those two quick goals, they were kind of like, wow, what happened there?
I kind of thought right from the start. I mean, it was a physical game, but I kind of felt the Capitals were over top of the Blue Jackets for a lot of the time. Some great chances, some unbelievable saves by Sergei Bobrovsky. Power play had a moment to get things going and change momentum a couple times, but yeah, that was kind of it kind of took the life out of the building, those two quick goals to start that second period, and then that third one just kind of kind of pushed everything that way. Loved the last 10 minutes of the third, obviously. That goes without saying. The crowd was into it. The scrums were there. But too many scrums. I mean, I can't believe the refs let scrums happen all the time like that. I mean, it used to be if there was a scrum, they'd take one guy and that would be it for the night. But it seems like every time. Love the emotion in the third period. Love Anderson and Ovechkin. Good trade-off for the Blue Jackets. But just too little too late here, Bob, I thought. At home, you knew the Capitals were going to come out and push because they lost a big game in Arizona. But there wasn't that big response. The Blue Jackets were getting pushed out of a lot of battles, causing or creating turnovers. The Capitals too many opportunities, and you can't do that with that team.
Yeah, absolutely. And they imposed their physical will here in many times on the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, and that's fine, and it's going to happen in spurts, but you can't let it go for so long. The Blue Jackets with so little offensive zone time. So much length between offensive zone time. I thought the big players showed up in the last few minutes when things were going their way, but guys, offensive guys that are expected to carry the offensive load couldn't even get out of their own end. So they didn't have the battle level to get out of that. That's when we saw Carlson and Calvert and Anderson and Hartnell out there just trying to grind to get offensive zone face-offs so that then you could put out those guys. Dubinsky did a good job last big minutes of the game winning face-offs, even that last play. I thought Seth Jones thought he had that goal in that play. It seemed like he kind of shot it, but Holtby was there to make a good save. And I thought the Blue Jackets could have tested him a little more with second and third opportunities.
Yeah, and it was funny. I mentioned this. When they had those chances, the 2-on-1 chances, they were always shooting high on them.
Yeah.
And the two goals that go in today wind up right along the ice going in. So, it's easy to say, hindsight being 20/20. I'm sure there was a scouting report, but he was able to take care of everything that was up high.
Love the play of Kyle Quincy. Simple shot at the net, and that's really what the Blue Jackets, when you're struggling to score goals in any level of hockey, shoot the puck from everywhere. And that was a great example in a time when the Blue Jackets needed a big goal that blew the roof off the building. And something that's interesting, I heard Torch telling you got to come here and defend, but you also got to bring offense from the defense. And it's great to see Kyle Quincy fitting in. Played big moments. He served that penalty, which was kind of neat because Torch wanted him to come out of the box and defend with Werenski out. That was an interesting play, how that Ovechkin leaves his feet to hit Werenski. Werenski goes off, stays in the tunnel, goes down the hallway, and now he's in the locker room for the rest of the game. We'll see what comes of it, but hopefully nothing serious.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you if you had any better look of that being down there between the benches on the ice, because I missed it. The puck goes the other way,
yeah,
and I missed the hit.
He got squished between the glass and Ovechkin. Ovechkin took 5 or 6 hard strides. He's a big boy, and when you're against the glass, you got nowhere to go. So it was kind of like a squish. His arm was kind of tucked, and I thought at first maybe he got the wind knocked out of him, but that can't be the case if he leaves the game like that. I thought maybe he was trying to figure out what was going on, but he left. Who knows what happens there? But that's a lot of weight on you, and something's got to give, I guess, when Ovechkin squishes you on the glass.
That's a guy they really can't do without. Well, they can't. They would find a way, but that would be a significant blow.
Yeah, they'll miss him. And we were getting it too far ahead of ourselves here. I mean, there's practice tomorrow. There's incidents where I thought he got hit all night. I mean, he took hits there tonight. I saw Wilson hit him. Kuznetsov took a run at him. Guys, I mean, Kuznetsov, I didn't even know he really threw the body. But I was really impressed by the physical play and the speed and execution of the Washington Capitals. It felt like they dialed things up.
They did that in Washington, too.
Yeah.
They targeted Zach Werenski, and they went after him. And I heard somebody just asked, Aaron Portzline just asked Josh Anderson if they've done enough to protect Zach Werenski. He leaves this game, but you played that role. Are they doing enough to keep him safe out there against a team like this?
It's hard to get good licks on good defensemen. Yeah. It's hard. I mean, you would never be able to hit Chris Chelios, Nick Lidstrom, guys like that, because they're so smart with the puck and they know it's coming. They always get out of the way. Seems like Zach there, I don't know if he didn't see him or he's not used to the time and space of the Capitals. They come quicker. They come 2 men on the offense. So things have tightened up in this portion of the season. So he's going to learn and hopefully, I mean, how do you protect him? He's got the puck. You know, he's got to learn to protect himself a little bit in moving that puck a little quicker or making the play that doesn't allow that guy to hit you. But one of them was a late hit. Kuznetsov hit, I thought was a little bit late, or maybe it was Johansson. Was a little bit late, and he got upset about it. That was right at the end of the second period.
Okay, so that being said, is that one where they should release that?
Yes, that's where you should have a scrum.
A scrum.
Or, yeah.
Or more.
Or definitely more, because, you know, you can't, for a 19-year-old rookie, it should, what I always thought was important when I was a guy that would address those situations was not only for the guy who threw the hit, but for the rookie himself or the player that I was sticking up for. I want you to know, Bob, that no one's going to mess with you. So that's the message I'm sending. And I'm also sending it to the rest of the league that don't mess with this guy or else there'll be something that you'll probably have to dance.
Well, and again, the game has changed and it doesn't happen nearly as much. But
and these are 2 big points. So, you know, this really had a playoff atmosphere from the beginning. Love and encouraged by the last 10 minutes. I think, and we talk about this all the time off the air, the regular season is for lessons. Figure out what you got. Figure where, and at different segments of the season, your team acts and responds differently. This is the most important segment here, and it's not necessarily today, but it starts next Tuesday with their first practice as the postseason is upon them. Where is your team at? And you have to get rid of any seed of doubt, and it'll happen during Game 1, but right now, leading into it, all the thoughts you have, you want to feel really good about the way you're playing.
Waiting for John Tortorella to come and address the media after this 3-2 loss to the Washington Capitals. How was he on the bench? He was down at the front of the bench right near the end.
Yeah, yeah. It was amazing to watch both benches because, you know, you think Washington, the way they dominated that game, no problem. We got this. Not a big deal, some swagger. The coaches were on the front of their bench, so they wanted that 2 points desperately also.